The unexpected departure. The sun hung low over the savannah, painting the village of Kweku in hues of gold and amber. Mud brick homes stood vibrant with painted patterns, their colors alive with the spirit of the community. Laughter and the rhythmic beat of drums filled the air, weaving through the market where traders bartered yams, beads, and woven baskets. Children chased each other past the baobab tree, its ancient branches stretching like a guardian over the village. Amara moved through the bustle, her woven basket brimming with fresh herbs. At 25, she was the village's cherished herbalist, her warm brown eyes and gentle smile a balm to those in need. Her hands, stained green from crushing mint and aloe, worked with practiced care. Today, she knelt beside Mama Kofi, an elder with aching joints, offering a salve and kind words. "You're a blessing, Amara," Mama Kofi said, her weathered face softening. "This village would wither without you." Amara laughed, brushing a braid from her face. "The plants do the healing, Mama. I just listen to them." She spent the morning tending to others, a child with a fever, a farmer with a cut from his machete, a young mother seeking tea for sleep. Each left with a remedy and a lighter heart, for Amora's generosity was as potent as her herbs. By midday, her basket was nearly empty, and she set out toward the savannah's edge, where wild sage and lemongrass grew in abundance. The path was quiet, the tall grasses swaying in the warm breeze. Amara hummed a tune her mother taught her, one of joy and resilience. She bent to pluck a sprig of sage when a low rumble broke the silence. Turning, she saw a cart barreling down the path, its driver cloaked, face obscured. No oxen or horses pulled it, just the cart, moving with unnatural speed. She leapt aside, but the cart veered, as if guided by intent. It struck her with a force that stole her breath, and the world spun into darkness. When awareness returned, Amara felt weightless. She stood on the path, but the air shimmered, heavy with an otherworldly stillness. Before her lay her body, crumpled in the dust, herbs scattered like offerings. Her heart should have raced, but no pulse stirred within her. Confusion clouded her mind as she reached for her lifeless form, her hand passing through it like mist. A voice, deep and resonant, broke the silence. "Amara, daughter of Kweku, your time was not meant to end." She turned to see a figure cloaked in starlight, its form both human and boundless, like the night sky given shape. Its eyes held the weight of countless souls. "Who are you?" Amara's voice trembled, though it echoed without sound. "I am the keeper of souls," the figure said. "Your death was no accident. A hand guided that cart, a heart with your end." Amora's spirit quaked. "Why? Who would?" "The answers lie in the living world," the keeper said. "I offer you a chance to return, not as flesh, but as a roaming entity. Uncover the truth of your death, but know this, your body will be buried in 3 days. If you do not succeed by then, your soul will be lost to the void, neither here nor beyond." The weight of the mission settled over her. Her village, her people, her life, someone had torn it all away. Anger flared, then hardened into resolve. She thought of Mama Kofi's smile, the children's laughter, the herb still waiting to heal. She would not let her story end in shadows. "I'll find them," Amara said, her voice steady now. "I'll uncover who did this." The keeper nodded, and the savannah began to fade, the world shifting around her. 3 days, Amara. Seek the truth, but beware, some secrets guard themselves. As the starlight enveloped her, Amara felt a pull, like a thread tying her to the village. Her spirit surged forward, determined to unravel the mystery of her death and bring justice to the heart that betrayed her, the roaming spirit. The village of Kweku shimmered through Amara's eyes, its colors sharper yet distant, like a painting viewed through glass. The market pulsed with life, vendors haggling over baskets of millet, children weaving through stalls, the scent of roasted yams lingering in the air. But Amara was no longer part of it. Her spirit glided soundlessly, her feet leaving no mark on the earth. She reached for a mango on a store, her hand passing through it, and a pan of loss tightened her chest. 3 days, she reminded herself. 3 days to find the truth. Her first instinct drew her to her mother's home, a modest hut adorned with clay carvings. Inside, Nia sat on a woven mat, her face etched with grief. Amora's heart ached as she saw her mother clutch a shawl Amora had worn, tears tracing paths down her cheeks. "My child," Nia whispered, "why were you taken?" Amora knelt beside her, longing to wipe away her tears. "I'm here, Mama," she said, though her voice dissolved into the ether. The helplessness burned, but a fierce resolve took root. "I'll protect you. I'll find who did this." She lingered, memorizing Nia's face, vowing to return. Guided by an unseen pull, Amora drifted to the savannah's edge, where her body had fallen. The herbs were gone, trampled or claimed, but something glinted in the dust. She focused, and a carved wooden charm came into view, small enough to fit in a palm. Its surface bore a spiral, like the keeper's starry cloak, and a single word, betrayal. The keeper's clue. Her death was no random act, it was personal. She tried to grasp the charm, but her fingers slipped through. Frustration surged. How could she uncover a plot when she couldn't even touch the world? The charm's weight in her mind pointed her toward Kofi, her childhood friend and the village's finest drummer. His rhythms had always lifted her spirits, his laughter a constant in her life. She found him by the sacred grove, where baobab roots twisted into the earth like ancient secrets. He sat on a stool, drumming softly, his face unreadable. Amora expected sorrow, but Kofi's eyes were dry, his posture too composed for someone who'd lost a friend. When a villager offered condolences, he nodded curtly and changed the subject. "Why aren't you grieving?" Amora whispered, her suspicion sharpening. She hovered closer, searching his face for answers, but his drumbeats drowned out her thoughts. Had Kofi known about the cat? Could he have betrayed her? The thought stung, but she couldn't dismiss it. As night fell, Amora followed another instinct to the elders' meeting place, a clearing ringed by stones. Hidden in her spectral form, she listened as the elders spoke in hushed tones. Elder Mosi, his voice grave, said, "Amora's death changes things. Her family's land, someone wants it, and they'll stop at nothing." "Who?" Elder Aisha pressed, her brow furrowed. "And why now?" Mosi shook his head. "The signs are unclear, but her mother must be washed. If Nia loses the land, the village loses its heart." Amora's spirit trembled. Her family's land, rich with herbs and history, was a legacy. Had her death been a step in a larger scheme to claim it? The elder's words were a thread, but she needed more. She tried to shout, to demand answers, but her voice was a silent gust, stirring only the leaves. The weight of her limitations pressed harder. She couldn't speak, couldn't touch, couldn't stop the clock ticking toward her burial. 2 days remained, and the void loomed closer. Yet the charm's word, betrayal, burned in her mind, as did her mother's tears and Kofi's strange calm. Amora steeled herself, her spirit flaring with purpose. She would follow every clue, shadow every suspect, and unravel the plot before it could harm those she loved. As the moon rose over the grove, Amora glided back toward the village, her heart tethered to Nia and her resolve sharpened by the mystery tightening around her, uncovering the shadows. The sacred forest of Kweku loomed under a star-streaked sky, its ancient trees whispering secrets in the night breeze. Amora's spirit glided through the undergrowth, her form unseen, drawn by the wooden charm's cryptic pull. The word betrayal paused in her mind, a beacon guiding her deeper into the grove where the village's traditions were guarded. Time pressed against her, one day remained before her body's burial, before the void would claim her. The charm spiral seemed to hum, leading her to a hidden clearing. Stones formed a circle, their surfaces etched with symbols of protection, now defaced with ash. A ritual site, but not one blessed by the village. Amora's spirit recoiled as she sensed a violation. In the center stood Elder Mosi, his robe stained with soot, chanting softly over a small fire. Beside him lay a dagger, its blade glinting with purpose. Her suspicion hardened. Mosi, a trusted elder, was no guardian. He was the traitor. Why, Mosi? Amora's voice was a silent cry, unheard but fierce. She hovered closer, catching fragments of his chant, spring, power, for Django, the name struck like lightning. Django, the merchant whose caravans brought wealth and greed to Kweku. His smiles had always felt hollow to Amora, his eyes too sharp. Now, Mosi's betrayal pointed to him. Following the thread, Amora's spirit darted to the village's edge, where Django's lavish compound stood, its walls adorned with imported beads. Slipping through the shadows, she found Django in a dimly lit room, his voice low as he spoke to a villager she recognized, Lekan, a young man who'd once sought her herbs for strength. Coins clinked as Django handed him a pouch. Her routes, Django said, his tone cold. You knew them. You told me where she'd be. Now, ensure no one questions the cat. Lekan nodded, eyes averted. And the land. You promised. The spring is mine, Django snapped. Amora's death was the first step. Her mother's next, if she resists. Amora's spirit fled with rage. The spring, a sacred well hidden on her family's land, its water said to carry the earth's healing spirit. Her herbs thrived because of it, her legacy tied to its power. Django's greed had killed her to claim it, using Lekan's weakness and Mosi's betrayal. But Nia was in danger now, and Amora could do nothing but watch. Desperate, she sought her mother. Nia slept in their hut, her face still marked by grief. Amora focused, willing her spirit into the dreamscape, a skill the keeper had hinted she might wield. She wove images into Nia's sleep, a spring bubbling under moonlight, Django's face twisted with malice, the charm spiral. Beware, Mama, she whispered, pouring her love into the vision. Nia stirred, murmuring, but did not wake. Had the warning taken root? Amora couldn't know. The council hut beckoned next, its thatched roof glowing under dawn's first light. Amora slipped inside, where Elder Aisha and others gathered, their voices tense. Mosi's been strange, Aisha said. He pushes to sell Amora's land too quickly. And Django's men linger too often. Then we watched them, another elder replied. Amora's death was no accident. Hope flickered in Amora. The elders sensed the shadow, but they needed proof, and she couldn't speak it. Her spirit trembled with urgency. Django's plan was moving, Lekan might already be sabotaging her mother's safety, and Mosi's rituals could shield their deceit. The day was slipping away, her burial looming. In the forest heart, Amora lingered by the ritual site, studying Mosi's defaced stones. Their symbols, once protective, now mocked her. She couldn't touch them, couldn't undo his work, but her resolve burned brighter. The spring, her mother, her village, they were worth every moment of her fading time. She would find a way to expose Django, to save Nia, even if it meant facing the void. As the sun climbed, Amora's spirit surged toward the village, her mission clear. Unravel Django's next move and spark the elders' action before her time ran out, the fight for justice. The village of Kweku thrummed with the pulse of the harvest festival, its streets alive with color and song. Torches cast flickering light on dancers swaying to Kofi's drumming, their movements weaving stories of ancestors and earth. Garlands of marigolds draped the baobab tree, and the air carried the scent of spiced millet and roasted maize. Yet beneath the celebration, tension simmered, whispers of Amora's death, of land and betrayal, lingered like shadows. Amora's spirit hovered above the crowd, her time nearly gone. The sun dipped low, her burial was hours away. The sacred fire at the festival's heart burned in a stone circle, its flames a conduit to the spirits. Amora felt its pull, a spark of power she could wield. She focused, her essence merging with the fire's heat, urging it to speak. The flames surged, twisting into shapes, a cart, a spiral charm, Django's face. Gasps rippled through the crowd as the fire roared, its light exposing the merchant's guilt. Villagers pointed, murmuring, Amora's spirit. She shows us the truth. Django, standing among the elders, paled. A trick of the wind, he shouted, but his voice wavered. Amora's heart lifted, the village was listening, but she needed more. She turned to Kofi, whose drumming had faltered as he stared at the fire. His earlier calmness had gnawed at her, but now she saw guilt in his eyes, not betrayal. He'd known something but hadn't acted. She could use that. Guiding her spirit to him, Amora whispered into his thoughts, a nudge of instinct, go to the forest. Find the truth. Kofi's hand stilled on his drum. He slipped from the festival, drawn to the sacred forest's ritual site. Amora followed, her presence urging him forward. There, among Mosi's defaced stones, Kofi found the dagger and a cloth stained with Django's insignia, a merchant's seal, unmistakable. His face hardened. Amora, I should have spoken sooner, he muttered, clutching the evidence. Meanwhile, Django seized his moment. At the council hut, he pressed the elders, his voice smooth as oil. Nia's land must be sold for the village's prosperity. Sign it to me, or we lose everything. Mosi nodded, his betrayal clear, but Elder Aisha hesitated, sensing deceit. Amora's spirit raced to her mother's side. Nia stood at the festival's edge, her eyes fierce, as if Amora's dreams had ignited her strength. Amora poured her will into another vision, showing Nia the spring, the village united, Django's greed. Nia straightened, clutching the shawl Amora loved. She marched to the council hut, villagers trailing her. My daughter's death was no accident, Nia declared. Django wants our spring, our heart. Will we let him steal it? The crowd roared, emboldened. Kofi burst in, holding the dagger and cloth. This was found in the forest, with Mosi's ashes. Django paid for Amora's death. Mosi tried to flee, but villagers blocked him. Django's composure cracked, his protest drowned by accusations. Amora watched, her spirit trembling. Doubt clawed at her, had she done enough? The void loomed, its pull growing stronger as her burial neared. She'd failed to touch the world, to hold her mother, to live. But as the village rallied, her fear dissolved. This was her justice, not vengeance, but unity, her people's strength awakened. The elders banished Django and Mosi, stripping their influence. Nia vowed to protect the spring, naming it Amora's well in her honor. As the festival resumed, its joy now true, Amora felt the keeper's presence. You've done well, the starry figure said. Your soul is free. The void faded, replaced by warmth. Amora's spirit lingered one last moment, watching Nia smile through tears, Kofi drum with renewed heart, and the village dance under the stars. Her mission complete, she let go, her essence rising like embers into the night, forever part of Kweku's spirit, the return and legacy. Dawn broke over Kweku, the savannah awash in soft pinks and golds, as if the earth itself exhaled renewal. The village stirred, its heartbeat steady after the festival's revelations. Django's banishment was swift, his caravan stripped, his name cast, he fled into the horizon, a shadow severed from the community. Mosi, shamed, followed, his elder's title revoked. The sacred spring, Amora's well, stood guarded, its waters shimmering under the care of Nia and the united village. The land, once threatened, now pulsed with promise. Amora's spirit hovered above the baobab tree, her essence lighter yet tethered to the village she loved. The weight of her mission lifted, but her burial had passed, the void's thread dissolved by her success. A starry glow enveloped her, and the keeper of souls appeared, its form radiant against the dawn. Amora, daughter of Kweku, it said, voice like a river of light, your justice has restored balance. Now, a choice lies before you: return to your body, to live as you did, or ascend to guide lost souls, your spirit eternal. Amora's heart wavered. Life called, Nia's embrace, the scent of herbs, Kofi's laughter, the joy of healing. Yet she saw her mother below, standing tall, a woven staff in hand, rallying villagers to protect their heritage. Nia's grief had forged her into a protector, her voice carrying Amora's strength. The spring sparkled, children laughed, and the village thrived, its spirit unbroken. Her work was done, her love woven into Kweku's earth. I choose to ascend, Amora said, her voice steady. Let me guide others, as you guided me. My home is safe, my legacy alive. The keeper nodded, its eyes gleaming with pride. Your light will shine for those who wander. Kweku will never forget you. A warmth enveloped Amora, her spirit rising, the savannah fading into a celestial expanse of stars and whispers. She felt no loss, only peace, her essence now a beacon for souls adrift. Below, the village wove Amora's story into its tapestry. By firelight, elders shared a folktale, Amora of the Well, the herbalist who defied death to save her people. Children listened, wide-eyed, as the tale spoke of her kindness, her courage, and the spring that carried her spirit. Nia, now a revered guardian, led ceremonies at the well, her every act a tribute to her daughter. Kofi drummed her story into rhythms, each beat a promise to honor her. In the celestial realm, Amora's spirit took its place among the stars, her presence a soft glow. She gazed down one final time, seeing Kweku bathed in morning light. Nia stood at the spring, offering a prayer. A child ran past, clutching a sprig of sage, humming Amora's old tune. The village pulsed with life, its traditions stronger, its heart unbroken. Amora smiled, her spirit at rest. She turned to the cosmos, ready to guide others, her legacy etched in Kweku's earth and sky, a story of resilience and love that would echo through generations.